What would you have done differently to survive this elimination? Hey guys, Andrew from CheepJokes here. We're with Annie and Runa from LEGO Masters Season 2. Welcome, team. How are we going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Now, unfortunately, you were the first team eliminated, but let's not dwell on that, and let's focus on the amazing builds that you did do. So, episode 1, Whole New World, and you did Turtle Island. Annie, tell us about Turtle Island.
We created EOS. I think EOS was the name of our beautiful turtle. The concept, I think, was a whole new world. So we had this amazing canvas. We wanted to create a whole new space. And we added a sprinkle of magic in there to make it something special. Yeah.
Now, there was some really smart parts usage in Turtle Island with the green trim from around the plants. Whose idea was this?
That was Annie's idea.
Annie.
She likes destroying pieces.
I really like cutting up Lego, which I know is a complete no-no. And one of the rules of LEGO Masters is that you're not allowed to destroy the Lego, but that's not technically a piece. It's an offcut of a piece. So we got special permission from Brickman. Yep. Special permission from Brickman to be able to cut them up and stick them everywhere.
Yeah, and it worked out really well for you. And apart from that, you were the only team not to use the island as an island. You turned it into something else.
Yeah, well, I guess the shape of the island looked a little bit like a turtle already. And so I thought it was a brilliant idea to just have it coming out of the water, and it was the world, rather than just trying to build an island.
Yeah, right. And did that get some good compliments from Brickman?
Brickman did say that he really liked us thinking outside the box. So, and I know afterwards they weren't thrilled by how much of the island we had destroyed.
You were actually like pulling the island pieces away.
Yeah,
so
we actually destroyed half the island.
Did you?
For the beginning part.
I think Andrew and Damien actually completely changed the colour of their island by building on top of it. You guys just pulled it out. You just renovated.
Yep, we gutted it.
Yep. We pulled it right down to the bones to really get that turtle shape.
And let's jump on to episode 2. So you pulled out glitter, which is probably a very Annie element, not so much of a Runa element. What element would you have hoped for, Runa?
I'm not sure. I think the slime was pretty awesome. I probably would have picked the slime.
I think on the day you said anything but glitter.
Yeah, anything but glitter, and I got glitter.
And you got glitter. Looking at all the other builds, I think once again, Andrew and Damien, they did the most Annie kind of build, where I'm guessing this one was more Runa inspired.
It was technically our second idea.
We had a few ideas, and as we were coming up with ideas, I guess we were encouraged to pick the most stereotypical idea, being the dragon with the knife, and so that's what we ended up going with.
For the explosion, how did it go? Did the glitter go how you thought it would?
It was awesome. It actually exploded so much more than I thought it was.
There was a lot of glitter in the air.
Was there?
And a lot of glitter in our hair, and a lot of glitter on our skin, and a lot of glitter in our shoes.
Oh,
that's why I hate glitter.
Glitter went everywhere.
So you were that close to it that the glitter actually got to land on you?
Oh yeah.
The glitter went quite far.
Really?
To be fair, our entire build exploded. It was amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it was just a way of Annie pushing herself upon you, Runa. Well, let's talk about the unfortunate elimination build. So one team had to go first. Unfortunately, it was you guys. I would have loved to have seen what else you could have built going forward. But whose idea was, who's the Little Mermaid fan?
I think Annie's probably more of a Little Mermaid fan than me, but I like the fairy tale. And it's Danish.
Yeah, right.
Lego's Danish, so it was...
Works out. Mm-hmm. Is that why you picked it? Due to the Danish connection?
I think we were having a little bit of trouble coming up with a good fairy tale, and some of the other good ideas had already been taken. And so we kind of came to the Little Mermaid idea a little bit late into the planning, so everybody else was kind of coming up with their ideas. We were still thinking, trying to find a good fairy tale. We had a few ideas, and in the end, the Little Mermaid one was the one that we were able to do.
Tim spoke about how 2 teams were allowed the same one from the list, and it was kind of a first and best dressed situation, which I'm surprised they allowed 2 teams to do the same one. But I guess it also creates that competition of who can do it better, and they were really smart about it by doing it not about the beanstalk but about the giant.
Yeah, well, they both ended up doing completely different ideas, and
Yeah.
both
Oh,
ideas
beautiful.
worked.
The original Hans Christian Andersen story of The Little Mermaid is extremely tragic and sad and full of death and destruction and despair. And, you know, going into an elimination, we thought, why not?
Yeah, good choice. I mean, it's
Challenge it.
kind of I can see a bit of both of you within it. Alice in Wonderland not on there, I'm guessing?
Didn't even think of that one.
Didn't even think of that one?
No one did.
Because I can see the sign behind your head there, Annie, for Tea with Annie. I thought Alice in Wonderland could have been a perfect option for you. You know, you've got the Mad Hatter with his tea party.
It came down to licensing, so certain stories are licensed and weren't allowed.
Tell us about Little Mermaid. So what went wrong with the build?
Well, we put a lot into the build. We really decided to get a lot of new techniques in and just really show our technical skills. And so I started building a mermaid, going very well until the very last moment. Yeah, there was only about 15 minutes to go, and unfortunately she broke apart everywhere on the floor, and we had to very quickly put her back together. And so she wasn't perfect, and we just kind of had to like prop her up. And so she was very anguished, sad looking.
Her body, wasn't her body backwards at one point?
Yeah, yep.
Her torso, yeah.
Upside down.
And who was leading the rescue for the Little Mermaid?
Well, after it broke, Annie really stepped in and started sticking bits back together. And then I guess I picked up some of the other stuff that we needed to quickly pull together to get it done. So in the end, we both really worked together to scrounge it all up onto the table.
In the process, Hamish had appeared with a keep cup and asked me to read his tea leaves, but asked me to read his tea leaves about our build, which doesn't exactly quite work, but I did my best. And there was a nice little star in the bottom of his cup, which ultimately does symbolise our success in one way or another. So, you know, even though our piece fell to pieces, we were successful in the completion of the build. So, you know, we didn't crumble.
What would you have done differently to survive this elimination, do you feel?
Pick a different fairy tale.
I reckon we should have just built a giant mermaid.
Just a mermaid?
simple mermaid. Yeah,
Maybe just a mermaid.
on a rock, sitting there, because people would have gone, oh, it's a little mermaid, and that's it. And it would be... But it's all in retrospect.
Yep.
So maybe that's a good BrickPit build for us, Runa.
Yeah, maybe we should just stay away from mermaids.
So unfortunately, you've gone out quite early and haven't had the opportunity to see what the future builds are going to be. If you could come up with a challenge for a future episode, what would that challenge be?
We really wanted to do Robot Wars where everybody had to build a robot and control it with the iPad and smash into each other. That would have been amazing. But
Great idea. I hope to see you both building for BrickPit in 2021. Any ideas? Any concepts?
maybe we should stage a robot war.
Yes.
Yep.
Fingers crossed. Well, I look forward to seeing you at BrickPit. It's been a pleasure watching you build, and hopefully we see your faces again before the end of the series.
Thank
It
you
was
very much.
an absolutely amazing experience. And thank you for talking to us.
My pleasure. Thank you.